Hello there. It's week 8 of trying to do the Blueprint protocol and deliver my speed of aging results to Bryan Johnson in 90 days. It's currently day 50. I've got my buddy Jesse, growing muscles, and I've eaten enough veggies to fill a stadium. And remember, we only have 40 days left to improve results before I meet Bryan face to face. My goal is to kick things up a notch, but to do it in a smart and scientifically rigorous way, which is why I'm excited that this week we're implementing caloric restriction. But first, morning routine. My morning routine has been the exact same every day for the last 50 days. Let's not act like there's anything new here. Hello.
How you doing?
How you doing?
We're at the sunny side.
We're going to work out.
No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Whew, good job, hit. High five. Hoopa. Hoopa.
Finish our workout.
Ooh, we got hit. That's what I'm gonna be doing. That's me.
Oh, hey. I heard that you work out.
Yeah, some people call it that.
Wow, very nice.
Piece of cheesecake. My friend asked me if I'd ever resented doing the protocol, working out, spending so much time prepping food, just all this stuff. And asked, do you ever get tired of it? You feel like quitting? And I'm like, yeah, all of the above. But the bottom line at the end of the day, I'm not doing this protocol on my own. I'm in a partnership. I'm in a relationship in the buddy system. So it's not about me. And if I wasn't doing this protocol, I'd be doing what I was doing before, which is sitting in my recliner, binge watching show after show, my legs, my ankles, my body, muscles freezing up and just getting ready to roll off the cliff. So yeah, I have those feelings, but I'm staying in this. This is like new life, new path, new way.
Let's work out.
I'm ready. Time for meditation.
Meditation time. We did it!
We did it! Once again, day 52.
Time to figure out our calories.
Ready to learn, ready to burn.
Burn it, baby. Here's the game plan. We're gonna clarify how many calories do we burn? How many calories do we currently consume? Figure out how many calories we should consume for a 10% caloric deficit. Let's do it. So why would someone want to be in a caloric deficit? When we induce a bit of stress on our body, it actually helps the body be more resilient. There's a bunch of studies and research that indicate if an organism is in a caloric deficit, that it will live X% longer. If you reduce the bacteria's food by 30%, it will live to be 30% longer. The same concept goes for humans. That's why we're trying it. We're just looking at what the average calories we burn in our Whoop. My 3-month average is about 1,700 calories. We're gonna use that number for the number of calories I burn. And then for Jesse burns on average about 3,000 calories per day. We're gonna use that average and then we'll do a little bit of math. If we look at this screen here, we can see our current state. I burn 1,700, Jesse burns 3,000. We're eating about 2,200 calories. I am eating about 30% more than my body needs. So technically I should be gaining a bit of weight. Jesse is eating way less than his body needs or than his body burns. He is in a 31% caloric deficit, which is like insanity. If you're in a caloric deficit that's really big, your body sometimes actually will hold on to fat. So if like you're really hungry to lose weight and you just barely eat, your body will react to that by holding on to the weight because you're indicating to the body, oh my God, there's no food anywhere. We want to avoid that. If we bump up Jesse's calories, his body will actually calm down and it will be easier for him to lose weight. We definitely need to bump up Jesse's calories ASAP. That's our current state. Now we're going to our future state. For each of us to be in a caloric deficit, we should be consuming, for me, about 1,500 calories, and for Jesse, 2,700 calories. Now we just need to figure out, what are we actually gonna eat? And then the goal is to stick to eating only that amount of calories. Just a quick note on this. Generally, I would not recommend counting calories. What we're doing right now is a very specific type of longevity tool. A great place to start is just focusing on what is your fasting window, eating until you feel full for 2 to 3 meals a day. What calories are we gonna eat? This is what we're eating. This is just the breakdown of everything that's in Blueprint. Nutty pudding, pea protein, super veggie, that all comes to about 2,200 calories. For each of us to be in a 10% deficit, we gotta get a little creative. And we're trying to make as few changes as possible to just keep things simple. For me, I'll eat the nutty pudding. I'll split the pea protein in half. I'll still eat the super veggie. Extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons is plenty for me. I'll have some dark chocolate and a half of a medium avocado, some fermented foods, and that total brings me to about 1,400, 1,500 calories. My only job is to just eat what is laid out in front of me, and I'll be in a 10% caloric deficit. For Jesse, we're aiming for 2,700 calories. He actually needs to add 500 calories. He's gonna eat all the meals, protein, and we're gonna add a bit more fat. So we'll add an additional tablespoon of olive oil, add another avocado. He'll have a bit more fat in his diet. Still lots of protein and some carbs. And that brings us to 2,700. This is a super quick and easy Google Sheets. I'll link it in the description below. I'll literally just put what I showed you on screen. Feel free to just make a copy of it and use it however you would like. Let the 10% caloric deficit begin. Protein powder time. I've been on this caloric deficit for a couple days now, and my take on it is, damn, this is a huge swing from surplus to deficit, and I am feeling it. The lack of calories is making me irritable, a bit stressed, and I think that's to be expected if you're not eating the calories that your body needs. I think long term, doing a caloric deficit every single day for the rest of my life doesn't feel like a reasonable thing. The method that I'd like to do moving forward is something that I learned from Team Land, which is caloric restriction cycling, where you do restrict your calories for a certain number of days, let's say 3 or 4 days, and then you bump up your calories for a day or two. There's more of this cyclical nature, and that to me is a much more intuitive approach to eating. So you are still getting the longevity benefits, but it's not so strenuous and stressful on the body. Breaking news, the Green Giant has been discontinued. Let's talk about it. On 10/23, Bryan Johnson announced on his website that he discontinued the Green Giant pre-workout drink. This means he's no longer drinking the drink as is, but instead is breaking up a majority of the ingredients and putting them in other places in the diet. I'll touch on which ingredient he cut out and why, what our plan is in the short term, and what our plan is in the long term. All the ingredients of the Green Giant have stayed except for the amino acids. And the thinking here is that the diet already has enough protein, mainly from the lentils and the protein powder. So the downside of this announcement is Jesse and I bought a bunch of bags of spermidine and other ingredients. Obviously, the spermidine powder is quite expensive, so we're not about to just throw that out. So our thinking is that we're going to continue drinking the Green Giant until we run out of majority of our ingredients, and then we'll make the switch to this new way of eating the ingredients. In the future state, we will start taking spermidine as pills. Thank the Lord. Flavonols will be in the nutty pudding, and the collagen peptides and the creatine, I've already tested this, but adding those ingredients to the protein powder, I like to mix those with water and drink it as a pre-workout drink. I think the Green Giant just got more and more weird tasting and hard to get down the longer I drank it. We're past the 50-something day mark at this point, and it just wasn't getting any better. I, for one, am relieved. Jesse's definitely relieved. I'll just say we're really happy about this reorganization of ingredients. Let's get back to it. If you didn't already know, in honor of my 30th birthday, we're aiming to plant 300 trees by the end of this series. Thanks to you, we're 110 trees down and we only have 190 trees to go. Please consider subscribing. It's free and it helps us plant some trees. Thank you. So what are we doing?
We're going to go to the old haunts, pre-protocol haunts.
Check them out. We don't go there anymore, but just remembering old times. All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
Oh my God.
William, look at that.
We are at my old haunt, the McDonald's. This thing is open like almost around the clock. Pre-protocol, this was a constant. I would imagine that they would know me by face and by my car. And it was never like when I was hungry. It was usually because I was in pain or having a tough day.
Stuck in the box, stuck in the box.
This is haunt number 2, Jack in the Box. Open 24 hours a day. I used to do this maybe 3-4 times a week. There's nothing on the menu that is healthy. There is nothing that resembles a super veggie, a nutty pudding, or asparagus beet salad on arugula.
On to haunt number 3.
Yikes!
We're making it through. Yes! And right across the street is the Taco Bell.
Hazardous place. Third haunt, Taco Bell. It's literally across the street. One driveway separated from Jack in the Box. So if the line at the Jack in the Box is too long, or if you want to get from Jack in the Box and Taco Bell, you got it. It is fast and you will get fat. There's nothing really healthy about it. And I'm glad that I'm no longer a member.
How do you feel going past all these fast food places?
You know, I still feel the pull of it. I'm still triggered after so many days of being on the protocol. I'm used to eating on schedule and eating a specific thing. However, being a compulsive overeater, an emotion, a thought, pain in my legs can trigger the desire to eat, because eating for most of my life has been a coping mechanism to cope with pain or any kind of discomfort. So I think it's something that I'll always have with me, but I'm learning new things with the protocol and all the structure that the protocol gives me.
So gotta ask the question that some people are wondering. Have you been scarfing down cheeseburgers when we're not filming?
Hell yeah! In my mind, that is the great challenge. I have not been scarfing down any of this stuff.
Now we're on our way to my haunts.
Oh my gosh!
Oh Lord, here we go! Burger King, the king of burgers. Believe it or not, I too am a compulsive eater. That's actually how Jesse and I met at a 12-step overeating community. Never used to eat fast food as a kid. Just wasn't a part of my life. It wasn't until I was an adult and I realized, whoa, this is really easy to get, tastes kind of good, and is very cheap. And that trifecta was just like, my compulsive eating tendencies had found a new friend. On to haunt number 2. I I would go to that Denny's, but that is too much work to get out of my car and to sit down and then to order. But if Denny's had a drive-through, ooh, you best believe that would be a haunt. But not today. It's not a haunt today. Corner store market that's easily accessible.
Wow.
We're now at my haunt number 2, which is my corner store market. Very easily accessible. Lots of goodies that aren't so good for me. I would go to this corner store every single time. I would get a pint of Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia ice cream, and I would eat the whole thing in one sitting. So whenever I was stressed, I would be like, I'm stressed out of my mind. What do I do? How do I solve my problems? I know. I'm gonna go to the corner store and get a pint of Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia ice cream, and I'm gonna eat the whole thing. And then I'm gonna move on with my life. Honestly, tastes great in the moment. Maybe like the first 10 bites would always taste really good, like brain explosion. And then after that, I'd be like, why am I still eating this? And then after that, it's like, I just feel bad, you know? So during this challenge, obviously I still feel stressed by life, and doing new things is stressful too. I am helping myself succeed by getting as far away from these locations as humanly possible. I don't want to see them. I don't want to smell them. I don't want to look at them, because I just assume that my self-control is nothing. It actually helps me be much safer and be way more reserved in my actions. And that, in this case, helps me succeed. The longer we've done the challenge and the more times I've, you know, called Jesse and just been like, I hate everything. Calling Jesse, honestly, having a buddy to vent to is really helpful. And literally just saying, like, ring, ring.
Jesse, I'm passing by Burger King and it's horrible and I want an Impossible Burger and I need it now and everything's falling apart and bah!
And like, you just say it, and then once you say it, it's out, and it gives it less power, and then you can just move on.
Oh. Whoa.
All right. You're walking so easily now.
I just figured you always get sight.
So those were our haunts. They were haunty. They were scary. But we made it through. And quick disclaimer that eating fast food or any of these foods, we're definitely not saying that this is wrong or bad. All we're saying is that these foods aren't working for us anymore. But we support people in their journeys, whatever that looks like. So you do you, boo. And let's get on with the video.
Let's go.
Look who that is. Is there a person there?
It's head day.
It's a day. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Both legs.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. Good job.
It's nearly 8 p.m. on day 56, which means week 8 is coming to an end, and that means it's time for Atomic Wins. This always makes me smile to see our community growing together. We really have the coolest people. We've got Germ and Cress, who started going to the gym this week and taking MMA classes. What? We've got Fernando from Spain, who established a consistent sleep schedule, and it feels so good. Very nice. We've got Anthony from the UK, who started going back to the gym and prepping lunch for work. Very nice. If you've sent in an atomic win, thank you. If you've subscribed to help us plant trees, thank you so much. And if you're watching right now, thank you. I appreciate you. This series is getting more awareness, and that's getting more folks making small, healthy tweaks together, which really is just the coolest thing ever. Technically, it's the end of my awake time for week 8, so I can't keep recording, but we saw your comments on wanting to know more about the workouts. So next week, we're gonna break down what our workouts actually look like for each of us. So I love you, and I'll see you next week.